Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Diablo 2 Resurrected video, and this is the second video in my mini-series, the Just for Fun Terror Zone runs. And in the first video, I gave kind of a longer explanation about what these are, but basically, I spend a little bit of time running one Terror Zone, under an hour, bite-sized chunks here, showing some of the interesting drops, and then putting up some numbers on the screen, kind of comparing how the XP per minute rate compares to some of the other things that you can do in the game as you're trying to level to 99. One thing I didn't do in the first video, which I'll do quickly here, is describe the character I'm using. And that's one of the reasons that these numbers don't matter, right? You're going to be using a different character, or if it's the same one, you're going to have different items, right? Everything is going to be very flexible and different depending on what kind of character you're using. So I am using an assassin, and specifically a trap-focused assassin, Lightning Sentry as the main source of attack, and then I have Fire Blast really pumped up as a second form of damage. So I've got Lightning as my primary, Fire as my secondary. I am running with a Lightning Thunder Charm, so we're breaking those immunities on the primary form of damage, and my assassin is pretty well decked out. I don't know if I have GG items other than Enigma on the body armor. That's a big one. This is the first time I was able to make Enigma ever when I've played Diablo 2. It makes a big difference, and it's not really worth doing a video series if you don't have Enigma, because you'll have maybe 2 runs or 3 runs over the course of the hour of running the Terror Zone. Having Enigma allows you to focus those bosses and do the runs at a much quicker pace. So I do have Enigma. I have a Plague Claw on one hand and a +4 Lightning Sentry Claw on the other hand. We're running with Shaco for the Magic Find, Arachnid's Mesh. We're running them with just some rare boots and gloves that have some resistances, some Magic Find built into them. And then we're running 2 rings that kind of change based on my needs. One is usually a Raven Frost for the Cannot Be Frozen, and then the second one changes a lot, but one of the things my assassin really lacks is resistances. So I think in this video, I'm currently running with an 11 to all resistance ring, but it changes from run to run, Nature's Peace sometimes, and different rings to fit the different scenarios. So that's the character. My mercenary is running with a Spirit Rune Word, with the Meditation Aura Rune Word in his pole arm to give me mana regeneration for when we're running around, teleporting around, and casting our traps. So how I completed these runs, it was just a waypoint into the Frigid Highlands, teleport twice to the north, take out the Eldritch boss and his pack, and then save out and reload and go again. So these runs were very quick. We were able to do quite a few of them, but the loot was a little bit dry for this one. Not too much in terms of exciting drops. And again, small sample size, so that's not anything to be surprised about, but it is a little bit disappointing and a little bit surprising compared to the other runs for sure, because there were at least a drop or 2 in most of the other runs that it was at least interesting. It's certainly not GG by any means. So in our 11th run, yes, it took all the way to the 11th run to get anything even worth mentioning, even in these just for fun videos. We got a jewel to drop, but it was a junk jewel. No 40-15s here for me. Then 3 runs later, we got the Circlet set item to drop, and that's Naj's Circlet. Not a very useful item. The set itself isn't very good outside of the staff, which is Naj's Puzzler, which is known to be a very high charge number of teleports. So if you want a teleport staff, Naj's staff is pretty good because it holds a lot of charges, so you can use it without recharging it for a pretty long time. All the way on run 18, we got the unique Bone Helm to drop, which is of course Worm Skull, a nice beginner helmet for necromancers. On run 21, we got an Eth rune to drop, nothing very exciting there, but the only thing worth talking about. On run 24, a Tal rune dropped. On run 28, we got a ring to drop, but it was not very good and went straight into the vendor. And that was it. We had about 30 runs in about 26 minutes. We were doing a little better than a run a minute. And the XP was very good. We got 3,722,324 XP for about 26 minutes of work. And that came out to 143,166 XP per minute. And again, comparing that to a single non-terrorized Bale run, which took about 5 minutes, the XP per minute for the Bale run was a little bit higher, 158,568. But it's very, very close, certainly within the margin of error in terms of me running to the shop and getting distracted and doing all those other things. So the XP run, Bale versus terrorized Frigid Highlands, just running the Eldritch boss pack over and over again, was very close. You get more chances at drops from the terrorized boss than you did from Bale. But as you can see, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get anything worthwhile. So that's going to wrap up this one. In the next video, we're going to do the catacombs, basically farming Andariel when she's terrorized. And there were some spicy drops in that one. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully I will see you in that next video.